Well, I figured since I'm so narcissistic, and I meant that jokingly, and since I'm so proud of myself and what I've done and where I am now, even though some people may think my music sucks, in fact, that's exactly why I like my music, because I think my sound is so unique, and I think I kind of, harness the sound, like I kind of own it. Like, this is my sound, I think I own it. It's like this dark, grungy, garage rock, kind of like, I think I kind of own that sound, and I'm not saying that, that I'm the only one that has this type of sound, but I just think my sound is so unique to me, and I think when I get a band and I get bigger one day, like, I want to keep that kind of sound. So, let me give you a rundown. Today is, Saturday, November 21st, 2015, and I just got really caffeinated. I just drank a lot of coffee, and I'm just kind of like talking to myself in my room. So, since I don't have an interviewer to interview me, plus it's my dream to get interviewed, man, I can't wait for that first interview. I can't wait for that. Like, I was just in the grocery store talking to somebody about music and just, oh my god, it's so exponential. I can expand so much. I can go way back with music. I could talk about bands that hardly anyone talks about. Like, you're right, I just know so much about music, and I'm really proud of myself, and I get off on it in a way that it gives me a lot of self-confidence. Do I get off on it the other way too? Yeah, maybe then some. I do. But I mean, knowing so much about music, what I know, it makes me feel strong. It makes me feel proud. It gives me kind of like two stilts to stand on. And I feel it gives me some self-confidence that I don't have, and sometimes I don't even think about it. But when I think about knowledge is power, and I have that knowledge, and if I can grasp it, if I can just reach it, and it's in front of me, and just kind of pull it in and really just embrace it and be proud of it, then I feel I can be really confident. So, I'm going to be discussing my music. I'm going to be discussing what influences me the most, and how I think I'm different from the other young artists, and how I strive to really stand out and make a name for myself, and really be proud of who I am, and that I'm not a copycat and just copying what other people are doing, because I swear to God, I will tell you that my music is genuine, that I'm not out to be a copycat, and that I don't copy what anybody else is doing. I don't even pay attention to what's mainstream. I always do my own sound, what is unique to me. And okay, so first thing I'm going to touch on is my music touches on a lot of like my history. Like, I think that I have a very controversial past so controversial that I can't even go into full detail to even talk about it. And it's, yes, a lot of controversial stuff. My past is very controversial. I've also taken a stand on my sexuality. I think my sexuality over the years has been very controversial, and I've been telling people about my sexuality ever since I was 13 years old. And I have something that's called heliophilia. I probably, it's spelled like T-E-L, it's like T-E-L-E-O. T-E-L-E-I-O, and then la 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 la, you want to Google it, you're going to find me on the forefront in it. So that one, I just saw a documentary tonight on asexuality, and this couple set out to give a name for asexuality and get visibility for it. And I would commend them very much, very proud of them that they did that. Unfortunately, with teleophilia, it doesn't have the same kind of visibility, and I want to get that visibility on it as well. But my sexuality is a very, very heavy influence behind my music. Okay, first of all, I just wanted to say something about myself. So I check out acts like 5 Seconds to Summer, and I check out acts like Ninja Sex Party, and I've even checked out Steel Panther. I heard of Steel Panther when they first came up in 2009, and I just wanted to say something about myself. Now, I don't want to pull a Kanye West or anything. I do not put other artists down. I'm always very friendly. If I give any criticism at all, I'm always doing it in a friendly way. And I think people have the right to express themselves in any kind of sort of way they want to. And I want to be very sensitive towards that, because I'm not a very harsh, rigid person. I'm not like a, I'm not gonna pull that one on you. But, I just want to say that I don't eat cheese. I don't hump cheese. I think some of the new music acts that are out are very cheesy. I think I try to be anti what the mainstream is about. I try to be exactly the opposite. Like I said, I don't even pay attention to it. I'm my own individual. I'm very unique. I'm not cheesy at all. I hate cheesy. It's cheesy. For me, you lose my total interest in it, and I don't dig anything that's not cheesy. And I'm sorry if this like offends anybody, but I don't like cheesy stuff. So, I also try not to plagiarize other artists, and I know Duran Duran has been an influence on 5 Seconds of Summer. I know this one song, Hey Everybody's Duran Duran, I'm hungry like the wolf. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying that, I understand why 5 Seconds of Summer pulls in the chicks that they do. I get it. I understand it. But I like Green Day, a lot better. So, that's just me. That's just where I am. And I was just talking to this one dude in the grocery store about music and my extensive knowledge. And, we like exchange business cards and stuff like that. I figured since I have no one to interview me, I'm just going to go on here and talk about this in case I ever do take off or I ever do get on a radio show. This recording would be like an archive. It'll be like an early archive of me talking if I ever did take off, which I would like to take off. That would be pretty cool. For me, as far as young artists, I know I'm a woman. I'm a girl or woman, whatever you want to call me. I'm 18 years old, okay, so you can still call me a girl if you want. I really don't care. But for me, I'm not a Selena Gomez. I'm not a Demi Lovato either. I do kind of like some of Demi Lovato's stuff. Okay, I'm not like, but for me, I'm more of a Lady Gaga. I was actually one of Lady Gaga's earliest fans, by the way. I was a fan of Lady Gaga early on, and her and I exchanged a message on MySpace when she first started. It was about dyeing hair or something, advice. So it was pretty innocent. Well, anyhow, I just wanted to say that I'm more like Lady Gaga or, I know you music fans out there, some of you like Rihanna, some of you don't like Rihanna. I'm more on that side of it. I'm not saying that I'm poppy or anything like that. I'm actually very dark. I'm more on the gothic side with my music, okay? And I'm more of on the heavy, like, I'm more of like the crank it up kind of person. I'm not really like, I'm what you want to hear. I'm hard rock. I'm like destruction hard rock, I'm not, I'm not, like maybe feminine pop music. I'm not that. At least I don't think I'm that. So, yeah. I'm not really like, I'm not like the Go-Go's. I think I stand out because I'm my own story. I'm not anybody else's story. I'm definitely my own story. I definitely have my own story, and somebody else is going to have their story. I think that I'm my own story, and I think that I'm my own individual, and I think that I'm very unique on a lot of aspects, and I tend to relate with the rock generation more. Like the classic rock generation. I don't want to bring age into the discussion, but I more of the classic rock generation. But the people, I don't even want to say generation because that's sort of a label, like, people who like classic rock, even young people, really, really young people that are my age who like classic rock, I tend to relate with them more. I'm really classic rock oriented and stuff like that. I like heavy metal too. I like jazz rock. I like heavy metal, jazz rock, blues rock. I love blues and stuff like that. I love punk rock. I love, even some thrash metal and like death metal, all that kind of stuff. I'm really like, I'm mostly geared towards heavy metal and there's all kinds of different subgenres of rock I know, but I love glam rock too. Glam rock is also a favorite of mine. Like, oh my god, I love Slade. Slade is such a fucking cool band. Slade and the Sweet. Oh, I love a lot of songs by Sweet. Slade, Alive. Love that album. It's such a great album, and I think something special about me is I'm like bringing it back what it's really about, and for my age, how young I am, and I'm not like mainstream at all. I think that makes me cool because, in a way, if you want to look at it from the surface, I'm kind of a rebel. I'm kind of a rebel. I like to, stand up for what I believe in. I'm kind of a rebel. So out of all the newer, more mainstream bands, okay, there's a bunch of newer bands that are underground that I really, really, really love. Okay, there's a lot of bands that are newer nowadays that are a little more underground that I really, really, really love. That are actually from LA, from home. There's a lot of bands from home that I really, really love that are a little more underground, and I think I tend to kind of like them better than what's mainstream. But I'll give you a rundown of newer mainstream bands that I like. Okay, so I'm talking about like really new, like within the last 5 years new. I'm not talking about like early 2000s or post 90s. Okay, post 90s and early 2000s are the same thing, but I'm not talking about like 90s or early 2000s. I'm talking about new acts that have just come out within the last 5 years. Mainstream. Okay, so what I like the best as far as mainstream. I'm not saying I'm crazy about any of these guys, but Steel Panther, I know they get a lot of hate for being a joke band and stuff like that. But I'll admit, I respected them. I respect them. Ever since they first came out and I saw that Death to All That Metal video, I respect them. And I kind of turned away from them over a little while too, because I heard everybody else saying that they were a joke band, and that kind of rubbed off on me. And I was like, but now I think I'm a little more enlightened. I'm like, you know what? They're bringing the old school rock and roll back, and they're doing it right. They're doing rock and roll, and I think no matter what your lyrics are about, or no matter what you really stand for, even if you want to like be, even if you want to be a little bit more on the, you want to be more on the banging woman side of it, and you really love what you're doing, and it's rock and roll, and I think that's what counts. So, yeah, I like them. Steel Panther, I like them. I'm not, Ninja Sex Party, okay, so that kind of reminds me of, Weird Al a little bit. More of the new wave style. Not bad. At first, I was like, yuck. But, now I'm kind of thinking, what, they're not so bad. They're not so bad. They really aren't so bad, and they just want to have fun, they just want to party. And there was a lot of bands in the 80s that just wanted to have fun, just wanted to party. So, not so bad. I'm not crazy about them, no. I'm not crazy about Steel Panther either, but, I definitely, out of the two, definitely like Steel Panther better. Black Veil Brides, okay. Black Veil Brides are definitely there with the whole hard rock image. They're trying to live up to it. And I can see they're trying very hard to live up to it. I think they're teenagers still. I look at them and I still see teenagers, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of cool. So I'm not like hot for them or anything, Black Veil Brides, but out of the newer bands, gotta give them that respect. I think I kind of like them, but I'm not as fanatical as other young girls are about them. I'm not like fanatical about them. So I'm more of an old school rocker, and I think that's what's kind of cool about me for being so young, my age, and because I'm 18, and I can say I'm an old school rocker, and I think that's really what's kind of cool about me. Okay, so the underground. Okay, so another mainstream band that I forgot to mention that I like, Tame Impala. I don't know if they're really that mainstream, but they're known for a song I feel like Going Backwards. Arctic Monkeys covered it. Oh yeah, I like Arctic Monkeys and World Blood. World Blood, I'm not crazy about World Blood. It's good. It's not like Black Sabbath. But yeah, I like quite a few songs by Tame Impala. So underground influences, I think I've said this before. So there's a couple of homegrown bands here in LA, like Hammered Satin, Salem's Lot, very new band. I like them. And there's the Tip from Nashville, and then there's the Biters. Biters are a great, great, great rock act. There's a lot of there's a lot of those kind of bands that are like that, are a little more underground. I haven't picked up such, but I mean, I'm definitely with that movement. I'm with it because like that movement, the Biters, Hammerset, and the Tip, all those bands. That's what I'm with. That's where I think I'm at. And those guys aren't as young as me, and I think for how young I really am, being 18, and saying that I like the good old rock and roll, and saying that I'm really serious, and that I really want to, I sound unique, and I'm more on the darker side. I think that maybe gives me a lot of leverage, because I'm so proud of myself and what I've done and where I've gone so far. Sometimes I forget about it, and I have had lessons at a little place called School Rock. It's not little; it's actually a very big franchise. School Rock blessed me with such a great gift to be able to play guitar and to make my own music, and I learned about how to use GarageBand and a Mac. I actually don't have a Mac, but my setup that I use to record is very similar to GarageBand. I use Audacity, and I make it kind of like GarageBand a little bit. I download VSTs, which is Virtual Studio Technology, and I hook that all up, and I plug it all in and stuff like that, So oh yeah, One Direction's also another band. I don't do the kind of music that they do. And maybe that's going to make me unpopular, but I don't care because I'm going to be my own individual. I'm going to be who I am, And not that there's anything wrong with One Direction, their music, and, people who like them, that's your thing. Yeah. So, I'm not big on boy bands or anything like that. I'm not big on it. I'm actually not. I don't like boy bands at all. I'm not. I don't want to say. I don't want to go out there and make any. I don't want to go out there and make any I don't want to go there, but that's not what I'm about. I'm more about maybe Marilyn Manson, and darker side of Alice Cooper. I'm not. I am not a pop act. I do not consider myself a pop act, and I never will. I'm more on the gothic side more, and I'm really okay. I've said I had a really controversial past, so I have strong, deep roots of MySpace. I know I keep repeating this. I remember being into chicks like Dita Von Teese, who was more influenced by Betty Page, and okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say Kat Von D. Okay, so I feel like I'm very influenced by women like that, and I feel like I try to take off of that, and be really an individual. But I like the pinup culture. I really started to dig it. I really like it, and I think there's really that kind of sexual value that I can express. I think there's a lot of sexuality in a pinup culture that I can kind of express, but I don't want to go into it too much, because like anything, you can go into it too much, and then people start to frown upon you because you're going too far with it. So like anything, I don't want to go way too far with it. I like a lot of more oriented towards old rock, but there's newer acts that I do like. And there is new stuff that's coming out there that's really great. But I think I tend to really have a special affinity for the stuff that's more underground. Like, you're not mainstream. Like, you didn't have a ton of views. You didn't have a ton of press. You're just, trying to get out there and get your image and get the word out that you're out there and that you want people to see you. I think I have a special affinity for that. I have a special thing for that. You're not like a billboard band. You're not like okay, there's nothing wrong with being in an arena band. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But being in a club band, your name's not like plastered on a billboard. I think I have a special affinity for that. I think I tend to kind of like that scene better. Just saying. And if you want to play arena and want to play a stadium, there's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead. That's cool too. But I'm just saying the club rock scene that's going on nowadays is incredible. I also really like another band that, they're not really mainstream, but they're kind of making it. They're a little more well-known than a lot of other bands. They're called Turbo Wolf. I think they're like the best new band out there that has came out nowadays. I love their look. They're like keeping it 70s, and they're so cool, man. They're so cool. You never hear them on the radio. I discovered them through a Sirius XM station called Octane. Turbo Wolf is like, I love Turbo Wolf. And stuff is awesome. I could go on about this forever, of course. I could. I'm discussing other people's music. I'm not discussing my own. But I'm just citing them as an influence, saying, hey, I'm influenced by them. If I'm going to discuss my own music, I can't go on for 20 minutes about how much I like other bands better. So, I'm more of a grassroots kind of person. And, I'm really, for some reason, sex is a special thing with me. I'm kind of influenced by it, but I'm not. I think I'm different on aspect. I try to tend to be more dark, more of a, I'm more like a grime kind of thing. I'm more heavy. I'm heavy. What can I say? Well, let me think about this. I'll come back and I'll tell you why I think that I am an artist when it comes to this thing that I'm doing, this music thing that I'm doing. I'll tell you why I think I'm such an artist when I come back in just a second. Okay, I'll tell you what. I may sing about sex. I may sing about love. I may sing about an erotic story that I made up in my head or whatever, but I think I have my own story to tell, and, I don't think it is even close to, I think mine has a special touch to it. It kind of has my touch to it. I'm not saying that other people's stories can't be similar or aren't similar, but I think my music is special because it has this, like, sleaze to it, like, it's sleazy, like, I'm talking about the kind of sleazy that, like, the sleazy that's a little bit more, like, kind of, like, it's hard to explain, because I'm trying to get really deep here with my, talk that I'm doing, thank you very much, but I think it's sleazy in a way that it's, like, it's hard to explain. It's like, it's like, it's sexy. And it's sexy because it's, how do you say this? It's like realistic. It's realistic. It's not like based off of let me just do a couple of no. I think my lyrics are a little bit more realistic. First of all, it's based on a more of a realistic sex story, a realistic love story. It's realistic, very realistic, and it's got that special kind of vibe to it where it's like you're thinking of maybe like an encounter at a strip club, or a sexual encounter at a bar that's a little more realistic, and that's maybe it's a bar and it's like magical or something. I think You know, I think it has a little more of a magical touch. It's like a sexual encounter, but you're like under the lights, and it's like, you know, it's like very passionate. I think that my music is very passionate in particular, and very based on very realistic. A lot of my music is based on sex fantasy, but I think it's more realistic and more based on passion, and it's the special kind of sleaze that's based on a particular sexual passion, a particular sexual drive, a particular you know, it's got a place to go. It's definitely got a place to go, and it's a lot more based on realism than I think other stuff is, you know? And I think that's what's so special about my lyrics, is that it's so realistic that you could literally imagine that girl or that whatever it is. You can literally imagine, you know, you want to sing along with my songs. I think you can literally like imagine that night or that special moment. I think you can literally like just imagine it like it's there. I think that's what's special about my music. It's the lyrics are I think some of the lyrics are a little bit more realistic, based on a realistic story, not like, oh, I'm in Wonderland, there's a unicorn, and the unicorn has a big dick. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. And some of my stuff is even a little dark. So it's definitely not like that at all. And I think that's why I'm special in a lot of ways. And the caffeine is still getting to me, so I think I'm still going to talk. I think I'm not done yet, but you know, I don't have an interviewer to interview me, so I like doing this, though. I think this is going to be useful. For some reason, I think this audio track right here, this recording is going to be useful. I don't know why, but I'm thinking it might be useful. Even if nobody ever pays attention to me, and even if I stay underground, never take off, for some reason I'm thinking maybe that this is going to be useful, that somebody's going to see this. And one day maybe will be special. Maybe 5 years from now, maybe this recording will be really significant. I don't know. It may not be. Who knows where my music's going to go? I really don't know, actually. Oh yeah, another point I also wanted to add. I think my music has a little bit more of a mysterious aspect to it. I think it's a little more mysterious. Like, it's a little bit more of a mystery. And I think that I have that mystery. And a lot of rockers in the 70s and 80s had a lot of mystery behind them. I always hear, yeah. Yes, Nikki Sixx is the one who said that first. But yes, the rockers of then. I don't want to re-quote another quote from Nikki Sixx, because I don't steal other people's quotes. But the rockers back then were a lot more mysterious, like Bowie, a lot more mysterious. And I think I have that mystery, like that mysterious aspect to myself. And I think that music nowadays is kind of like lacking in that. Like artists nowadays are kind of lacking in that for some reason. And I think I'm bringing that mysterious mystery aspect to it. Like, you know, David Bowie had a lot of that mystery, or T-Rex mystery, that mystery behind it, that like magic, that mystery, and that magic mystery. I think I'm coming back, bringing in a little mystery, being a little bit more mysterious. And I told you my lyrics are, in my opinion, more realistic, more based on a realistic sexual encounter. If I'm going to sing about sex, it's a realistic sexual encounter. It's not like the unicorn over the rainbow. No. It's a little bit more realistic, and I think that's what makes my music so special, if you will. If you really see it and you want to look into it deeper. I know that I don't have a band fronting myself, so you're going to say some of it sucks. Well, yeah, because I'm still what I would like to call a demo artist. I'm definitely unsigned artist, definitely solo. I stand alone by myself. So I'm only making music because the new technology, the miracle of a computer and having interfaces and everything just makes it so much easier, so I can actually really do this stuff. But I definitely could use a few other people standing behind my music. That would be great. Oh yeah, I just also wanted to say that I do also like some of the grunge bands like Soundgarden. I like Korn. I like some of the Nirvana stuff. I love Alice in Chains. This stuff's good. And the other bands I like that are newer but not too new, like maybe like 10 years old new. Mudvayne, Meshuggah. Meshuggah is I think was formed in the 90s, but Meshuggah, Mudvayne, and Cold Chamber, and that kind of stuff too. What do you call that? Like kind of more of the screamo stuff. Motionless in White, yeah, I like Motionless in White a lot. It's a little more of the harder, heavy metal that's like the screaming vocals, yeah. I don't like everything that screams, but I like some of it. I cited some of the other bands that I like, and they do influence me. Oh yes, definitely, they do influence me. But I definitely like a lot of A's metal. Oh, this one band, Celtic Frost. Those bands from Europe I like too. 80s metal as well as hair metal influences me. Hair metal under 70s glam rock, which I think 70s glam rock may have evolved into hair metal if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I like some of those more hardcore bands too. I'm into that too. Am I fanatical about it? Probably not. I wouldn't consider myself fanatic, but I do listen to it, and I am influenced by some of those songs too, and I think that's kind of cool that I'm willing to be so open about music. You know, I think that's really cool. I also think attitude is very important as an artist, and I definitely do have that, but I would never, ever consider myself a teeny bopper act. Hell no. No. I appeal to all ages. So I'm not going to categorize myself as just one thing. I would never do that. It's okay to have a teeny bopper audience, if you will. That's totally okay. You don't want to just appeal to that. You want to appeal to all ages. You want to, you want to evolve. Another newer band that I also like that I forgot to mention, and I always forget to mention them, and they're kind of mainstream but not too mainstream, the Struts. I always forget to mention the Struts. I love how the lead singer, Luke Struts, he looks like Mark Bolan, almost like reincarnated Mark Bolan. I think that's really cool. So I like bands like that. I love bands like that. I give those bands a lot of praise for doing that. Because that's what we really need in this music industry. That's what we really need. We need people like me, and we need them. So maybe we're all like a team. We're going to like be like a tidal wave. We're going to be like a team. That would be cool. But I mean, oh yeah, I like all kinds of different music genres. You know, I don't just stay tied to one genre. I like to branch out. And I think that's very cool for me to have that variety as an artist. I think that's so important, you know. I think that's so important. I think that's extremely important. If you want to be good, you need that variety. If you're just stuck on one thing, you're just influenced on one thing, you're just gonna no. You're not gonna evolve. Unless you listen to other things. You gotta open up your mind, or else you're not gonna evolve. You gotta open up your mind, you know? Open your mind, feed your head. Feed your head. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you gotta open up your mind, though, to other genres of music if you want to evolve. Definitely. Oh yeah, I also wanted to point out on my second album, I have 3 albums in total right now. I'm currently working on a 4th album. I just want to cite in my second album, which is Anthill 2, you know, like Led Zeppelin 2. That's where I got the idea from. It's literally Anthill 2 with 2 eyes, like the Roman numeral 2. And I have something that I created with an app called Piccolage. And it's a really cool album cover, in my opinion. I'm working on a totally new album cover that's going to be even cooler. I actually already did the backside of the album cover. It's going to be like gatefold vinyl, basically. When I put it up on YouTube, it's going to be awesome. But anyhow, Well, I plan on putting that up on YouTube in 2016, but okay, the second album, Anthill 2. There's a song, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 7th track called Ecstasy. A little bit more psychedelic sound if you go listen to this, like, doesn't that sound psychedelic? That's very psychedelic sounding, so I can also branch off and sound psychedelic, and I like some of the psychedelic 60s, kind of, acts too. I like, there's this one band I really like. Oh yeah, what are they called? Oh man, I know there's this one band I like from the 60s that's psychedelic. I like Strawberry Alarm Clock too. There is one band, that I really like called the Blues Magoos. Oh yeah, I love the Blues Magoos. That's good stuff. The Blues Magoos, and I like the Animals, and that's really early rock and roll. Yardbirds were of course the band that eventually involved in Led Zeppelin. I guess that's what people say. But anyhow, I like bands like the Blues Magoos and stuff like that, so I can sound psychedelic too. So I'm really, really, really widespread in my music genres. I also like psychedelic rock too. Oh yeah, Steppenwolf, I'm into them, and the Turtles. I like the Turtles. I like the Turtles. I do. So I like surfer music also as well. So I'm really, really diversified in rock music, especially my knowledge, my background on rock music. I get a lot of it from my dad. So my dad has a huge record collection, so I can actually sound kind of psychedelic too. And I think that's kind of cool that I can also do that kind of sound. And I really like the psychedelic kind of fuzz sound, like the well, Yardbirds were also bluesy, but they also could play the fuzz guitar, like Heartful Soul. I like that kind of sound too. I'm actually into that as well. So I could cross and be like really psychedelic and like the fuzzy. I could sound like a 60s band too. And, I think that's cool. That I can do that. And I like, the more psychedelic songs by the Beatles, like Tomorrow Never Knows. I like that. So I can sound psychedelic as well. I could sound like hard rock, or I could sound psychedelic, or I could sound like heavy metal, or, it's really cool that I can kind of do that and kind of maintain the same thing while I'm going along with it too. Yeah, if you want to know what the song Ecstasy is about, it was a story about, let's just say, a said person was getting, it was, about a story I heard on a radio show about somebody getting a massage, and, they got a happy ending after the massage, and I heard this whole story on a radio show, and, I just started in my room and come play guitar, and this song Ecstasy popped out. It's the feeling of ecstasy when you're in the middle of pleasure. I don't care if it's sexual pleasure or what kind of pleasure. It's originally about the feeling of ecstasy during sexual pleasure, so that's what that song's about. It's that feeling of pleasure, so that's what ecstasy is about. It's not about the drug ecstasy, okay? Not about those little happy pills. It's about the feeling of pleasure, like you're feeling so happy, you're getting pleasured in whatever way, have you not, have it be sexual, have it be, maybe you're just having popcorn at a movie, you're feeling, I don't know if popcorn at a movie can compare to pleasure, but it's just that feeling of pleasure. That's what ecstasy is about. I have plenty of other songs. I could go on for days about what they are about. I mean, I could literally go on for days about what all my songs are about. But since I mentioned that one song, I just wanted to say what it was about real quickly. Just briefly touch on it, and that's kind of cool. Everything is cool. No, not everything cool. I'm still feeling that caffeine. Okay. I look at myself as kind of being the crazy artist and stuff like that. I'll go on to say I'm great. I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. So, it doesn't really matter how great I say I am unless somebody else says that I'm great. I realize that I can go on about how I think I'm so great, blah, 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 why I think I'm so special, blah, 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 for hours, hours, hours. I could go on for this about months, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter to you. It doesn't really matter to people like you unless somebody else says it. So me saying it and somebody else saying it, two different things. There are some bands that I like that are a little bit underground and that are closer to my age, but I'm not crazy about them. And I think that I am different from them. One of those bands I want to talk about that I like that are closer to my age that are not like 5 Seconds of Summer, that are actually different like me, is the Pink Slips. I discovered it a little while ago on Twitter. So Duff McKagan's daughter started a band, and they're kind of cool. The video, Foxy Feline, definitely, good video. She's getting the finger on that. I like that. That's what I like. That's what I want to see. So, I like the Pink Slips, yes, but I'm not, am I like a real big fan of theirs? No. But I do like them. I like what they're doing. They should keep that up. There's another band that they're young kids like me, and they're around my age, and I like them a lot better than 5 Seconds of Summer. They're called Wild something. I forgot. Okay, yeah, 5 Seconds of Summer. There 5 Seconds of Summer is 5 Seconds of Summer, and if I listened to their whole album, there probably would be one or two songs that I liked. I'm just trying to be humble. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be humble, okay? But I didn't like any of it. Okay? I'm not going to try too hard to be humble. I'm just going to be true to myself. I don't have to be humble for you just because you want me to be humble. There's this one band that kind of like them. They were a younger band. They were about right around my age. I forgot. They did this one song called Saturday Night, and their lead singer, I'm going to say it, their lead singer, again, looks like Nikki Sixx. Yes, I'm going to say it. I know we're all thinking of Andy Bursack right now, right? Yeah, well, there's another band that has a lead singer that looks like Nikki Sixx. How many Nikki Sixx puns am I there, Mike? Sorry. Okay, I love Motley Crue. I'm a huge Crue fan. Motley Crue is my favorite band, okay? Okay. Moment of silence, I know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to figure out what this band was that I was kind of into and kind of digging their stuff. Hold on 1 second. Okay, the band name does not have Wild in it. I'm confusing it with another band. The band's called Nasty Habit, okay? And they're a bunch of young guys like me, and I actually like their music. Yes, I do like their music. I like what they're doing. I guess I could compare them with Black Veil Brides, but I hate to do that. But I'm not like, I'm not really fanatical about anyone really, except for Motley Crue and a lot of the older bands. But, out of all the young bands, I'm talking about the really, really young bands, the bands that are like 5 Seconds of Summer young, Nasty Habit's gotta be my favorite of all of them. I really liked their video for Saturday Night. I thought that was cool. They got some pretty cool music going on. They got a pretty cool thing going on. I actually don't know how old they really are. I really don't know. I think they're my age, but they got a cool thing going on, and they're trying to bring that back. And like I said, I'm not really crazy about any of the newer acts right now. I love Hammered Satin, love Sam Lie. I love those bands. They're great. And the Tip and all the Biters. Those are the bands that I care about. a lot more, but I gotta give it to Nasty Habit though, because I mean, if you want to go really young, if you want to look at somebody that's my age, music-wise, I gotta give it to Nasty Habit. You know, Nasty Habit's definitely got it going on as far as rock. You know, as far as hard rock goes, Nasty Habit's definitely got it going on for a young band. So you should check out their video called Saturday Night. You just look up. Okay, so the video is called Saturday Night Dash Nasty Habit. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I would compare them with Rat. As far as music-wise, the way they sound, I would compare them more of kind of a Rat sound. They don't really sound like Motley Crue. They sound more like Rat, round and round, you know, lay it down. They sound more like Rat. But I think for a young band, they're doing a very good job. You know, they're doing a good job. And honestly, a band like Nasty Habit, I wouldn't mind touring with them at all. I think they're doing a fantastic job. You know, I'm just saying, out of all the younger bands, if I had to pick one, it would be Nasty Habit. You totally understand, right? Yeah. So, I'm trying to enlighten everyone here and get everybody's hopes up that rock is not dead at all whatsoever. That there's people like me in the game who are trying to, like, bring it back, you know, and we go about it in a way that, we try really hard. All of us. We try really hard. We do. We stand together. You know, we all try really hard to, you know, be as true to ourselves as we could possibly be. Especially me as an artist. Especially me. I try to be true to myself. Did I just say me again? I'm sorry. Okay. But I'm just saying that I try to be true to myself. You repeated yourself like 3 times. Get over yourself. Forget it already. Okay. I think we get it. Oh, God. Like, there's other persons over there, like, shouting, "Shut up!" Yeah, you get the message, I know.